Well, it is Warble Wednesday, and I'm here in my office again because it's a little bit windy outside, so I thought you'd struggle to hear me today. And I'm sorry about wild hair. I've just got out the shower and let it dry, so it just does its own little wavy thing over here. So all of this COVID lock-in situation has been really interesting to me. I've been watching the news, or trying not to watch the news sometimes, and everyone is handling it in different ways. So I just thought we'd have a quick chat where we'd let everyone hop on and say how it's affecting you. So I think the first few weeks, I sort of had a bit of relief, really, that we were on lock-in, because as a small business owner, it's very difficult to stop working, especially when you're a bit of a workaholic, I suppose, like me, and you enjoy your work so much. It's very tricky to stop. And I got very calm and chilled out in the first few weeks, and I got used to talking to myself online and saying hello to all you guys. But I know other people are having, finding it a bit more difficult, and I'm finding it a little bit more difficult now, and especially when the weather goes all funny. It's a bit more difficult to stay a bit sane. So, some people get upset, get grumpy, get whingy, and some people, children like my Jack had a little poo regression, so needed some help remembering to stop doing what he's doing and actually go to the potty and have a poo. Sorry, totally humour. So, all we can do is try and keep some sort of routine, and routine's really important for everybody. So going out on a daily walk is ideal, and trying to get out, even if you don't go for a walk, even if you just go into your garden and go out for a walk. And today we're going to look at some nature lines on our walks. So while you're out, it's something you could do every day, and it's really simple. All you need is a felt tip and your hand. Okay. Now, I think a few people may have done this with me before, but it's always an exciting adventure. So while you're out, whoever you're going with, if you're going on your own, you can do this on your own, or you can go and do this with someone else. If you've got someone else with you, you can give them the pen, and they can draw on your hand. And what you need to do is you need to draw 3 lines. So have a little look at your hand, and you'll see there's lots and lots and lots of lines on your hand. Little tiny ones you can barely see, and big indented ones all over your hand here. Okay, and what you need to do is take a pen like this, and you can give it to your friend or your mum or your brother or your sister, and you can get them to do it, or you can do it yourself. So find 3 lines that look really interesting. So have a little look at your hand now and get your felt tip, and I'm going to go for, there's a little tiny line here that looks quite interesting. So that's my first line, and then I'll go for this big long line down here. Just make sure you're doing this with washable marker, because it won't come off if you do it in permanent marker. So I've got 2 lines going on, so I've just swapped to the thicker end just to make it a bit clearer for you. And let's have a look. There's another little line here. So there are my 3 lines. Can you see them? Okay. And you can take that out. And while you're on your walk, you need to find as many things as you can that look like that shape. So some things that have lots of lines are leaves. Okay. So when I'm out and about, these lines on here are quite similar to the lines on your hand. So this is a big sycamore leaf, and I think it's really quite beautiful. So I might be able to have a look on some of the leaves and find this pattern. So it looks very much like the veins on here. So I might be able to find something that looks very similar. So have a little look and see if you can find these lines out and about. Now, everyone's going to have something different. So the last time I did this with someone, it was a 4-year-old, and they drew this shape on my hand. So they drew a big triangle. They followed those lines there that they could see, and they drew a big triangle. Now, a triangle shaped like that, it's a lot harder to find out in nature, but you might be able to find it out on your walk, because in the woods there's no bricks and there's no houses, but if you turn it around this way, it looks a bit like a roof of a house. So get your pen, get your hand for all those who've just joined in, and draw 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, and then you can find that on your walk. Okay. So once you've got your lines, off you go. And having some distraction like this on a walk that feels a bit monotonous, especially with children that are like, oh, I don't want to go on another walk, I want to go to the park, I want to stay at home. And to be fair with yourself, it's hard to motivate. I hate taking a walk with my dog and having to do the same boring streets at the same time every day. So having something to do, like finding shapes on your hands, or picking dandelions, or making dandelion trumpets, or spotting different colours of flowers. There's beautiful flowers out now, is a way to keep your brain entertained and make each walk a little bit different. And it's one way we can combat the stress and the anxiety that's going on. So children and adults find this situation quite stressful, and children feed off the adults. So if the adults are feeling stressed and unnerved, that kind of passes on. Children really sense that, even if you don't say anything in front of them, if you're feeling stressed about the whole situation, it does pass on to them. So there's some great guidelines. I'll post a link for you for the Forest School Association for the World Health Organization sheets. And one good thing with children is routine, which, and good thing for adults as well is having some sort of routine. So making sure you get up and get changed and washed and stuff every day. Well, not every day. We had a pajama day yesterday. So we had a nice chilled and relaxed day. It was a bit damp outside, wasn't it? So we just went, we'll just stay inside. We were going to go out for a walk, and then went, we'll just have a play. So have a go at that. And then honest facts is the best way to go, even with young children. Keep the facts quite simple, but make sure that they know that a family member or someone within your household could get ill and have to go to the hospital, and that isn't a bad thing. You might feel worried and stressed about it, but it's not a bad thing. They are being looked after, and you might not be able to see them. Make sure you keep it factual. Make sure you don't make up any silly things, because children really take that to heart. And if it's a worrying, stressful situation, they see you stressing out about it and you've made up a silly story about it, they'll be wondering why you're acting that way if it's not so serious. So keep it truthful is one of the advice. And then the other one is keep connected. So there's a few people that have been sending me messages, and I've sent them little video messages back, because people are missing coming to the woods, and that's why I'm going live, even though it is not the most natural thing, just talking to yourself in a room. And it's lovely that people come and join and comment and chat to me as well. But it's one of the reasons why I'm on here, is to make sure it feels a little bit more normal, because you can talk to me, you can ask me questions. I got a lovely picture of a deer this morning, just at the back of someone's back garden, because the animals are getting really used to having no people around. So there's some lovely video clips of badgers walking through train stations and elephants wandering around in India, and things like lynxes and bears and things like that all around the world, all going around people's driveways and in people's gardens that they wouldn't normally go in, because everyone is inside and there's no cars moving around, so they feel quite confident about moving around because there's less danger for them to see. So it'd be an interesting one, because when you watch all these creatures going, I feel quite confident, and I feel quite confident. I don't know if you've been on a walk, but my road is okay. It's not too busy, but the road it connects to at the bottom, where we walk, is really busy. It feeds into BAE systems, and the traffic is just constant all day long. And we've been walking along that road, and we haven't even been holding hands, you know. I've got a 3-year-old, if you didn't know already. We haven't even been holding hands. So that confidence of the fact that you can hear a car coming, a bit like being on a country road, and you can hear things coming, so you know where the danger is. And it's an unusual feeling to feel so confident in an area where you would normally feel a little bit more aware of the danger. So yeah, so so we were just talking about lines. So I've done some lines on my hand. I'm going to do some more on the other hand, just to show you little lines. Also, you'll find that toddlers will just draw anything. They won't look at your hand. They'll just draw a random shape in a squiggle, which is also quite fun to find. I've had some very tricky shapes to find, and the worst ones are some more circle shapes. So if someone just comes and draws a circle on your hand, that's quite difficult in nature to find, unless you've got perfectly formed galls, wasp galls on trees that are like marble galls. Circles are really hard to find unless you find these marble galls, or maybe a conker, but conkers aren't perfectly circular. They're funny shapes. So pop out your hand, draw 3 lines on your hand. So search out some really tricky ones. So this hand's different from this hand, so I've got different lines on this one. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, so I've got something that looks a bit like a hammer now, or an axe, or a scythe, I suppose, or a sign, like a little pointing sign going this way. 2 of them. Ta-da! Oh look, Max is waving. Hi Max, nice to see you. Hi Lorraine. So yes, draw the 3 lines on your hand, and that, well, if you live in the countryside, if you see a sign like that, that would match the lines on your hand. And if it's something that you can collect, so if it's something like a leaf or a pebble or a flower, and you can collect one of the things. So remember, if you are going to collect stuff, if there's a lot, collect a few, and if there's only a little, collect none. And that means that there'll be plenty left for the nature, and to make sure it goes on, and make sure we're not picking anything that's unique and there's only one of. So I picked one of these because we went out on a walk, not yesterday, as you said, because I had a nice pajama day yesterday. It was lovely. And we did some baking and made some beautiful dog biscuits. But that's beside the point. So I collected this here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to pop it on top like this. And I'm going to put it on something hard. So I've got a nice book here to show you. And I'm going to get a pencil. So, because I haven't really got any wax crayons here. They're all at the woods. So I'm going to get a nice pencil. And you can see, if you can press it down and then hold your pencil on an angle. So not drawing like you would draw, on an angle like that. It's a bit like when we're doing firelighting, we don't hold it straight up, we hold it on an angle. And give it a colour over the top. And you'll start seeing all the lines appear from whatever you've got underneath. So you can start seeing. There we go. And that's just my little Bluetooth speaker turning up, if you heard a boing in the background. There we go. So I've got a corner of my leaf. So it's a great way, if you really can't see the lines in nature, you can always see them when you come home. So we've got some lovely lines in here, and you can take a different colour pencil. What's the best one to see? Maybe a red one. Okay, so you can always use this, and you can use it as a natural colouring book. So you can try and find the lines that you found on your hand and draw them in. So I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. Oh, hi Lydia. Oh, I'm hoping that, I don't know if we just frozen, but someone said we just frozen. But what we did was we just coloured in, traced over the lines like that. Oh, there's my dog having a little woof. Traced over the lines like that, and you can carry on doing that. So you can actually highlight all of your bits. And if you wanted to, you could colour in sections of the leaf and make it look really beautiful. So colouring and drawing is a great way to pass your time. So once you've coloured it in, you can really make it beautiful. So I've just grabbed a blue. I'm just doing another section over here, like that. And can you see it's starting to look completely different now? So it's something that I really enjoy doing, is colouring in, and I don't do it enough. I really like making little drawings and little colourings like that. And as I said, on one of the other walks, I'd stop at each corner, or I pick a few points on my walk that I'm going to stop, and I try and draw something from that point. There we go. Can you see that? It's starting to come a bit more together. There we go. Looking quite pretty. There we go. So that's quite nice. And you can cut these out. So we collected a whole different host of leaves. So we collected about 10 on our walk. And we did a little leaf rubbing like this on the top with different colours. And then I got the scissors, and Jack helped chop them out. And we cut around the leaf. And then we hung them in the window. So we did a rainbow, which is very cool and very, showing thanks to people. But we're also showing thanks to a bit of nature. So if anyone's done a bit of tree decorating with me in December, you'll know that we decorate the trees to celebrate the trees and thank them for all of the things they do for us all year round. And so we're thanking all the key workers and everyone that's out working during this environment. And it's a beautiful way to do it. And it's a beautiful way to do it in nature. So you can do that and chop out your leaf and then stick it to your window and make a beautiful leaf rainbow. Or you can pop it in your bedroom, or you can, if you don't really have many leaves in your garden, and it's only really on your walk and you'd like to make some leaf art, you can do many rubbings from the same leaf. So I can get this same leaf and get another colour and do exactly the same on top. And you can see it works again and again and again. So you don't need to pick loads and loads of leaves to make a beautiful leaf sketch. So you can see there, it's coming up lovely underneath. So I can use that leaf again and again and again to make, and sycamore's quite a good one because it's quite thick and it's quite bumpy. So if you have a little feel of the leaf, the underside, so this is the top of the leaf, so it'd be hanging on the tree like that. So that's the top of the leaf and it's much smoother, but if you turn it over, you can see all the veins in the leaf and you can feel them. So I'll give them a good feel. It's quite nice to give them a good feel and feel the different textures of the leaf. And the more bumpy and the more lines that you can feel, the better the leaf rubbing will come out. So you can be quite selective with your leaves, or you can pick a whole variety, even some smooth and shiny ones, and see how it comes out. Because we did a new holly leaf, which isn't as spiky as the other ones. And so it only had the one spike at the tip. So I just nipped that off and we did that over the top, and we just got a nice outline with a line up the middle, as if you were drawing a leaf. And that was really pretty. So what do you think of that? Okay. A nice way to entertain yourself. So you can go look for shapes. You can bring it home. You can make something when you come home. You could even make a hat. Do you think I could make a hat? Oh, that might be a nice addition. I'll go and get some scissors and make a hat. I'm going to do that now. Let's find some scissors. Oh, I'm back. Okay, so scissors. So I'm going to make a little party hat because it's my birthday soon in 11 days. I'm going to have to think of something special for that week, aren't I, for having a warble on my birthday. What should I do? Should I get the fire pit out and make a cake? Would that be exciting? And you can all follow along and you can pretend you've got smell-o-vision and have a smell. And have a good sniff of the cake. What would you like? Oh, should we make apple crumble? My favourite. I love apple crumble. I make it all the time at forest schools, don't we? I think everyone who's come to a forest school has had apple crumble at some point. The holiday clubbers from last year, from my very first holiday club, now you shouldn't do this with your tea. I should really be chopping it with a pair of scissors. It's a bad habit, and I should stop doing it. I'll damage my teeth one day and I won't be able to do it. So I've cut out 2 strips. Ooh, can you see that? Ooh. 2 strips of what I've done, and I should be able to. Now I've got a big head, so I always struggle with these things. I think I might need a bit more paper in there to make that work. So add a bit more paper in. Get some sellotape, or if you've got paper tape like masking tape, that works really well as well, and you can stick it in the recycling then, rather than having to remove it. So around my head it goes again, and stick. Now there's the start of a beautiful headdress. Can you see that? Can you see how beautiful that is? So I reckon if we stick a few more things in there, it would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Or we could even do a little leaf rubbings and cut them out and stick them on the headdress. If anyone fancies making one of those, Lydia, I know you're a bit crafty. I bet you would like to make one and model it for me and go, ooh, look how beautiful I am with my headdress on. There we go. Maybe we should have a hat party. That would be exciting, wouldn't it, for a birthday? So you must have some ideas of what you'd like to see cooking on the fire. What would you like to see on a Warble Wednesday? Would you like to see some cooking? Would you like to see a bit of a fire? Would you like to see me how to make fire? I've got some different ways of making fire. So things you can make fire with at home. Because we always use flint and steels at forest school, don't we? But we don't always have those at home. I've got loads of them, but maybe you guys haven't. So we could maybe think about maybe lighting a fire using things like magnifiers and batteries and things like that you do have at home. So give me a little shout if you'd like to do that. And we'll see what we're going to do. So take your little lines on a walk and try and calm yourself in any way you want, whether it's watching a little bit of football or whether it's taking 5 minutes out to sit in the garden, playing some music and dancing around the kitchen. I like to do that. That's quite fun. Or whatever you would like to do, take some time out for yourself and make sure Oliver recognised me. Oh, hi Oliver. We're missing you too. I'm really missing being out in the woods. It's so nice to see everyone out there. And I can't wait to get back. It'll be lots of fun, won't it? We'll get back in one way or another. We might get back in smaller groups, even smaller than the 12 that we normally go for. We might get together in much smaller groups, but we'll start doing stuff in little forms when it's safe to do so. So probably more like the summer holidays or just a bit after that. Hopefully we'll be able to get out a bit before that as well. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Yes. So take yourself out on a walk and try and have a little look at the link that I'm going to post for like anxiety during COVID and how it affects yourself and how it affects your children, and ways that you can kind of combat that by keeping some routine in place. I mean, it doesn't need to be much of a routine, but trying to make sure that you have breakfast together and tea together, a bit of bedtime routine, even if the times are a little bit wonky. Everyone needs a little bit of routine in their life. A bit of honesty, factual honesty as well, not just emotional honesty. Being quite factual, especially with kids, is really important. And connections, making sure you stay connected. Okay. Let's see. We like the idea of how to make fires with things from home. Can we make s'mores? Yes, we can. And we can make s'mores as well. I don't know if anyone's ever made a s'more over a tea light candle, but we could do that as well. So it's something you could maybe join in with as well. So should we have fires and s'mores next Wednesday? Yeah. And if it's raining, I'm going to do it anyway, and we'll see if we can get the fire going in the rain. I might have to stick a brolly up. But yes, s'mores are amazing. For those who don't know what s'more is, it's basically a toasted marshmallow sandwich in between some biscuits. Or crackers, if graham crackers is the original one from America. Graham crackers dark chocolate and a toasted marshmallow. But I prefer digestives or chocolate digestives. Those are the best. And to make a beautiful s'more. So we can maybe do some of that. So does that sound like a good idea? I'm also thinking this week, because the weather's not great, I thought I'd do another story with Jack. Maybe Thursday or Friday, maybe Friday. And we'll do another story. So if you've got any stories that you would like to hear, we could do those. I've got some lovely book. I've got one called Where's My Teddy? And I know people are making teddies and hiding them around. There's someone in Wharton and Freckleton doing just that, and they're making beautiful teddies and hiding them around places. And I think other areas are doing it as well. So we might have to do Where's My Teddy and see what comes up. But I've got some lovely books. So if you've got anything in particular you'd like to hear, then we could do that. But I think on Friday we'll maybe do a little story. On Thursday, I think I might do a knot, because lovely Edward, I don't know if you're on Edward, but if you are on, Edward is just going to school in September, and he's been loving the knots that we're doing. So I think I might do another knot on Thursday. And then do a story on Friday. So we'll go story time 10:30, because that's like a good snack time. Jack likes snack time. I make sure he goes for a wee this time though, because he was desperate to go back in the house, because he was desperate for a wee and hopping around and like, I want to go inside. I'm surprised he just didn't have a wee in the garden, to be fair, because that's what he's been loving doing at the moment. Yes, so knots and stories. Yay! And s'mores next week. So we'll see you all there. And this is the awkward bit about talking to yourself, is that when you say bye to someone, you say bye and you walk away. But online, I just talk to myself and like going, have I covered everything? I don't know. Have I mentioned everything that anyone wants to see or hear? And the answer is I really don't know. So I'm going to call it quits there. Thank you for joining me. Get your lines and your markers out. Get your rubbings done. And if you make anything beautiful or find your shape on your hand, take a picture. Send it to me. I'd love to see it. If you do any beautiful leaf rubbings, I want pictures. Send me some pictures. I like to see what you're up to. If you find anything out in nature, like deer or new flowers or sticky things or caterpillars or something like that exciting, send me some pictures. I always love to see them. And I'm on WhatsApp, so if you're on WhatsApp, my number is on all the stuff, and my number's on all the stuff, so you can just WhatsApp me via there, and you can send it to me over that way if you don't want to post it online. And I promise I won't use any photos that you haven't given me permission for. So yes, get sending, get doing. I love to see it. It makes me happy. I hope it makes you happy too. Goodbye, everybody. This time I'm really going. Bye.